Knicks family, welcome back to the God of Knicks podcast. I'm your host, Apollo Reed. I'm here with my two guest hosts today, State
It's your boy.
boy Slizzy
It's your
from
boy.
State of the New York Knicks podcast, of
Oh,
course. Who he forgot his charger? He'd be right back. And we got Eru of the Die Hard Knicks podcast. How you doing, bro?
Peace, man. Good to be here, man. Yeah, I
Good to
think you
be
guys got one of the better intro songs that's out there. I think.
Yeah, I
I
can't lie. Every time I play it, I feel like rapping, bro.
yeah, every time I'm on the show, you see me in the background. Yeah, I might be jamming every single time it comes on.
I started laughing before we even went live because I could see it, so I'm sitting there laughing before I
Okay.
But yeah, man. So Knicks defeat the Mavs 108-85. Of course, our friendly neighborhood Kristaps Porzingis didn't show up tonight, so he left Luka to deal with all of us alone. Which I say Luka did a great job of being a Knick tonight. So as my boy Joe steps into the spot, Luka did a great job being a Knick tonight, Joe. So
Yeah, what's good, regular Joe?
yes, sir. So yeah, man. We got a nice little victory tonight.
yes, sir.
Everyone is going to talk about RJ Barrett, and you know me, I'm going to talk about RJ Barrett, of course. But this is a well-rounded game for the Knicks. The ball was spread around. Everybody got their touches. Mitch was involved. He had 10 shot attempts tonight, and I mean, everybody was looking for Mitch. You know what I mean? It wasn't just RJ. It wasn't just Julius, but everyone was just looking for each other. And I think it was a good all-around game. If you look at the plus minus, it just tells the story. Just for the starters alone, RJ 22, Julius 29, Mitch 22, Burks 26, and Fournier 27. Like nobody.
An important stat.
What's that?
Look at the assists. Look at the assists down the ball.
The assist was a beautiful. Listen, Julius Randle had 8 assists himself. Alec Burks had 6. Evan Fournier had 3. RJ had 2. Quickly had 3. These guys were just spreading the ball around. You know what I'm saying? And that's not including a lot of the shots that these guys miss.
We never do that either, though. We never pass the ball like that. So we had a really good game tonight.
Ridiculous. Actually, let me see. What was the scroll down a little bit here so we can actually see the numbers. What was the number of team assists that we had? It was
24.
24, man. Look at that. That's just outrageous. These guys were playing team basketball tonight. You know what I mean? Something that we don't really get from them all the time, unfortunately.
Wait, hold up. Randall had 8 assists. That's how you know when he played a good game.
Exactly.
When you don't recognize certain stats in a win, that's when you know somebody impacted the game.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
didn't
sir.
even know he had 8 assists.
He had 8 assists. He was out there bowling.
My favorite assist tonight, before we go, Eru, was the assist when me and you was watching the game, and Evan Fournier had 2 dudes on him, and then he passed the ball under the Mitch for an easy dunk.
Yes. Beautiful play. And Mitch like spun off of him a little bit and dunked it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play. So let's start with Randall. Let's start with Julius. Julius tonight, 17 points on 6 of 17 shooting, 8 assists, 12 rebounds. And we don't want to talk about the turnovers, the fives. We're gonna be positive today. You know what I'm saying?
It was good.
Plus or minus 29, man. Yeah. Plus or minus 29.
Plus 29 with 5 turnovers. You must have had a good damn game. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? He was 35% from the field, 33% from 3. But it was just his assertiveness when looking for his teammates tonight. He just looked like he snapped out of whatever the hell it was. One thing that I do want to point out is he definitely had a nice little 2-man game going with RJ. He was looking for him almost to the point where RJ was surprised a lot of the times when he was throwing him the ball. He couldn't catch it because it was like, I didn't think he was going to throw it to me then, bro. My bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, he sealed off to post up. He was like in a high post position, and Randall gave it to him, and then he spun off him, and then Randall hit him with the pass. Yo, that's something we've been begging for. All of us been begging for that shit.
3 years.
Yeah,
3 years.
The 2 best players on the team never do 2-man game. It don't make no sense.
It doesn't make any sense, bro. And that's what I say all the time. I see Randall doing the pick and roll with my bad. What's his name? Evan. And it's like, yo, I get it. You want to get the shooter involved, right? Cool. But what about everybody else on the team? You know what I'm saying? Why don't we see you run a lot of pick and roll with Mitch? I think, and this is my thing. I was going to mention it last game. Julius Randle and Mitch have had a little bit of an issue with. First of all, like I said, Mitch. I always said Mitch primarily hogs up the paint because he's not going to spread the floor. You know what I'm saying? The most he can do is be drawn out from the pick, bring his man out of the paint and the pick and roll, and then you can have free reign to the paint that way. But if you're not running the pick and roll with Mitch, he's not going anywhere. His man is going to help, and he's not too far from whoever the hell his man is. Yep. So he's going to get in Julius's way a lot of the time. He would get in RJ's way a lot of the time, but the reason why he doesn't is because RJ calls for the pick for him, and he comes and sets the pick, and they run their pick and roll. Sometimes he hits him with the alley, and sometimes he just finishes on his own. But that's the only reason why it works well with RJ. I would like to see Julius get a little bit more pick and roll with Mitch, because that at least frees him up to get in the paint and not be double teamed. We haven't seen him get to the paint without being double teamed in like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And you got to do that. When you got someone who's a rim protector, someone who's a rim runner, you got to bring them out the paint. You got to make that man move around, make that man work, make their defender work a little bit. And I think that's what they did a little bit better tonight. You see Mitch had 10 shot attempts. Was you going to say something, Iru?
Well, I always want to say something, but like you make the point is like it's so elementary what you're saying. It makes sense. If they occupy in the same place, take Mitch out, let him give Julius Randle free. To let Julius Randle do what he got to do. It's just so elementary. Even the 2-man game we were talking about with RJ. Why is it taking so long for these guys to do that? Right. Me and State were talking about maybe the Knicks are finally gelling. Maybe Tom Thibodeau is finally trying to figure it out. His players and stuff like this. Just with the new guys or whatever. Right. But I mean, what is taking so long? Just the basic things. We're not asking for something elaborate to be done. It's just basic. Basketball. Everything that you explain, to me, it's elementary.
I think
just move one guy out the paint and get the other guy in there. It's that simple.
That's true. I think that's on Tibbs though. That's on the sets Tibbs calls. And I noticed something. Ever since RJ came back from COVID, the team has been implementing more offensive sets. Tonight, you pointed out something to me that was noticeable tonight. The Knicks started doing a twist play and a weave play, and I watched Obi get the ball, and he had an open lane to the cup. He didn't make the layup, but I'm like, okay, and now I'm seeing
play. Yeah, it's a play.
It's a play. And I love Mitchell Robinson, man. I thank the Lord that he spoke up about 3 weeks ago, talking about, I'm just running around for cardio and doing my job.
Facts.
We all know what that meant.
Facts.
We know what that meant. Pass him the damn ball.
Get me involved. Yeah.
And just like you said, like.
But it's weird. As soon as RJ started getting more touches, Mitch got more involved. It's just, and that's because RJ knows, all right, not only should I get Mitch involved, the only way I'm gonna be able to get in there, use my left hand in the paint, is if Mitch isn't in the paint. How do I do that? Pick and roll.
Pick and roll.
You know what I'm saying? So, and if the man helps off me, just lob it to Mitch. Yo, it's the easiest play in basketball. They say it all the time. So,
yeah, RJ's the key. RJ's the key to all this, man, because now that he's more involved, like you just said, look at the starting lineup. We got 5 guys with major stat lines tonight. All 5 of us, and then the bench did well too, because the ball is moving. It's not just that RJ's like the lead or whatever. When RJ got the ball, the guys are moving around.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
So he keeps people involved. Yeah.
Yeah. So then guys are able to get the confidence to, okay, well, this is happening. Let me get into my spot. Let me do this. And now it looks great. But there's one thing I wanted to point to. Like we was talking about it with Mitchell Robinson. He's like taking advantage of all these like bum centers and stuff like that. Yeah. So I mean, it's like preying on the weak. The Knicks get confidence against teams like this that we can dominate. In certain aspects, whatever. So, but we have to cross this over. This same style of play. We need to cross this over. To like a better team. Yeah,
the top teams. Yeah, you got to play. And now we said it the other day. Joe, Rick, and I were talking about it on Monday. It's when you have certain guys that don't really get involved in, like, like you said, like tonight you played against the Klebers, the Maxi Klebers, and all these other guys. You have great games against those guys. Why is it that when we play against the Robert Williams of the league and some of these other guys, like Mitch kind of disappears sometimes, like he'll completely disappear. And it's frustrating to watch because it's like, what he's capable of. You know what Mitch is capable of. Get those boards, go get right back in. But now I'm starting to wonder, is it Mitch or is it the guys not getting him involved?
The guys not getting him involved.
Because if you look at him tonight, he wasn't doing a lot by himself. It was like guys drawing the defense in, like swing around to Mitch, jump off to Mitch all night long. And that's exactly what you got to do when you have a rim runner like that. You got to use him.
Apollo, dog. When this team gets a dynamic point guard, we don't even need a great point guard. Because we got guys doing this as Alec Burks as our starting point guard.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We get a dynamic point guard. I don't know where that guy is at. I don't know if it's quickly, and we haven't spoke about him. We haven't even speak about him soon.
You gonna talk about it?
I don't know if it's Deuce McBride, but once we get a point guard in here, it's a wrap, bro. Mitchell, because Mitch, and another thing I noticed, the man shoots, I think, 70% for his career. That is absurd, bro.
I mean, he's doing dunks 99% of the time, but she's making them. He's making them. Not everybody can make them. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the thing about Mitch, and this is something else that we were talking about the other night. If we do get a dynamic point guard, all right, so this is where it gets dicey. We're going into a point of the season where we're starting to realize that RJ Barrett needs to be involved, if not more, but at least just as much as Julius Randle is on ball, right? If you keep these two guys here, you bring in a dynamic point guard, you will eventually have to take the ball out of one of their hands. And it's okay if they deserve it, you know what I'm saying? But if you look at a guy like Quickly, what I do like about Quickly and RJ, if Quickly is the point guard going forward, the thing that I do like about him is the fact that he doesn't need the ball to be effective. You know what I'm saying? He can play off ball. You can hide him in the corner. If you're a dumb team, he'll be hidden. But you can play off ball with Quickly and still run the ball with RJ and Julius. You know what I'm saying? And not worry about having a point guard like maybe, let's just say Kemba. Not to dish on Kemba, but because we love Kemba. But let's just be honest. If Kemba doesn't have the ball in his hands on offense, there's not much he can really do but be effective. It's outside of spot up, which is a little bit easier to do because of his size. You know what I mean? So if you put him in the corner or you put him on the hash, you know what I mean? You really don't got to step off too far from him because he's not that tall. But
it's not his style either.
And it's not his style. Yeah. So you're gonna have him in the game not playing his style. He's on ball. You know what I'm saying? And it just doesn't really mesh as well. And I feel like that might have been the issue we were having this season. We were trying to figure out who should have the ball in their hands to be effective. How is this team most productive? And Kemba brings a lot of great stuff to the team. Evan as well, Burks as well. But obviously, what we've seen is the team runs best when Julius and RJ are playmaking for this team as the primary playmakers. And you know this, and it fills out. If they play a game like they played tonight for the rest of the season, I think we'll have great games against whoever we play. You know what I mean? Quentin Grimes comes off the bench, 9 points, just knocking down threes. That kid is going to be a flamethrower. Like I can't wait till he starts getting minutes. I mean, I'm just waiting until it's Quickly, Grimes, RJ. You know what I mean? Like that's the starting lineup. Like you know what I'm saying? That's just, to me, it's just deadly. It's just deadly. It's deadly.
I'm good on that. I'm good.
Why not?
Because I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to at least go to the second round or something. I don't.
What makes you think they won't be able to do so? because they're not going to be primary guys. Those guys are the role players. So if you still keeping RJ and Julius, those guys are primarily going to be especially Quickly and Grimes. They're primarily going to be role players. They're going to be hitting shots.
My only issue I don't want to take Quickly from the bench. That's one thing I don't want to do because we do need. He brings
somebody going to have to play either him or Deuce.
I don't know. What if the guy's not even in the building yet? What if the Knicks see Quickly and Obi as the primary bench pieces, and they are like, okay, we still need a starting point guard?
Well, let me throw a name out there. That's not with us right now. Derrick Rose. You know, if Julius Randle and RJ play the way they're playing now, the style of play that we're playing, we need that. We need a guy like Rose. You know, because Rose is able to get to the paint. He can shoot the three. You know, he's a scorer. He's not necessarily a ball distributor, but he takes care of the ball. He gets the ball moving. Whatever. You know, he's not a ball dominant player. So I mean, that style of player actually will be fantastic for us right now if we continue to play the way that we played tonight.
Right.
You know, so this is the blueprint to me. You know,
you don't want to start Rose, bro.
No.
Not necessarily start Rose, but just as the game goes on, we're gonna need that type of guard out there with those guys in the mix.
I start Rose. All right, I'll say this. This is a Tibbs move. I'm definitely starting Derrick Rose as our playoff point guard this year. He's got to start for me.
It depends on who's our point guard after the trade deadline.
Yeah,
because I don't think it's going to be Kemba.
So let's throw some names out there. King threw out Elfrid Payton, and I see you made put the smiley faces. I just wanted to say it just so State could get uncomfortable a little bit.
Shout out to the chat. King is our resident troll, as I always say. He likes to come in and throw some negative energy when we win and positive energy when we lose. And his positive energy is usually negative, but it's comes from a good heart. But shout out my boy Dante.
Yeah, he's a funny dude.
Yeah, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, hindsight is 20/20 with things. Dennis Schroeder. Guys were like, nah, that guy sucks and this, that, and the other. But if you watch the way he plays with Boston, he's a scorer. He's not a passer.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, keep it in context of how we're playing. Yeah. The way that we want the ball to go through RJ, which is the right way, because it gets Julius Randle in his bag. Mitchell Robinson is open, for all these dunks and stuff like that. Right. Evan Fournier is comfortable. He's shooting his he's doing what he does. You get Schroeder in here now. And then, to balance as a starting point guard, to have that extra scorer out there. And then, whenever Derrick Rose gets healthy, now you're talking about a lot of stuff going on out there that we can attack other teams. We're not going to get no star.
Can you give me another name, please? You got to give me another name.
Listen, I don't mind Schroeder coming off the bench. I don't know how well he'll be as a starter.
Where does he fit off the bench?
But he's basically Derrick Rose. They're the same kind of player.
So Quickly not gonna play?
No, Quickly stays in his role. That's the thing. Quickly still comes off the bench in his role.
As
and
you
yes. You push Burks back into off the bench. You got Rose out there. That worked for us with OB, and then you got Nerlens Noel too. So if I don't know how we do that, but if we can get somebody, like I said, we don't need a ball dominant point guard. Because we want the offense to run through our main guys. But like I said, if we get that extra score kind of point guard, like I said, it don't have to be Schroeder. I'm just talking about like that style of play.
I got a guy that we actually seen very, very recently, as in maybe a few minutes ago. Jalen Brunson? Nah. I wouldn't mind him, man. The guy is really, really good. He plays very, very smart. He doesn't have to be a primary ball handler. You see him play next to Luka. Mm-hmm. He makes very high IQ decisions. Mm-hmm. I didn't really see him make any mistakes out there. He might have missed some shots, but he's a good, serviceable guy. And I already know how you feel about my guy Brunson. Well, actually, that's your guy. That's your guy, Brunson.
What's the difference between Brunson and Kemba besides the knees?
Younger, spry,
young.
Well, young is the only thing though, because their games are very similar. The way that they play.
Defense. Jalen plays defense. That's something that Kemba can't do.
Right.
Jalen plays defense. He's a 50. If there's anyone that's gonna give you stats on Jalen Brunson, it's definitely gonna be my boy Regular Joe. 50% from the field this season as a 6'1" point guard,
Yes.
or guard. You know what I'm saying?
But he said he's a 6'1" point guard though.
He's 6'1". But I mean, I don't mind the size. We didn't mind Kemba's size. It's just that Kemba is a net negative on defense because not only is he small, but he's not a great defender. You know what I'm saying? You can't be both. You know what I'm saying? So
not everybody can be Fred VanVleet, bro.
Right, exactly.
Gave him that money too.
But I think with this guy, you kind of get like a poor man's Fred VanVleet. You know what I'm saying? Like a lefty version of him. That he reminds me a lot of Fred. You know what I mean?
He's lefty.
Yeah,
Brunson is lefty.
Yeah, he's lefty.
I get that with the Fred VanVleet.
Listen, man. Listen, we figuring it out with our lefties, man. You see what we didn't even get into the top lefty tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we gonna get there. We gonna get there.
So real quick, Dennis Schroeder, the trade package for me. So to try to just vibe with you real quick, the trade package for me is Schroeder and give me what's that young boy name? Give me Schroeder and Romeo Langford for like Burks and 2 seconds or something. I don't know.
Romeo.
Well, that's the thing though. Like if you're talking about a guy like Schroeder, you're not going to give up a lot. You know, some of these other guys like a Brunson, we might have to give up a couple firsts. You know, you might. So how do we get Brunson though?
He's not of high demand. He's a good player, but the thing about him is he's cheaper than you would. It depends on how they value him
because he's good. He's good. Listen, if we had Brunson, what would you give up for Brunson?
I wouldn't be trying to give him up.
That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So from the Dallas perspective, why would Dallas want to give up a player like that?
I think their situation is a little bit peculiar because I think it's more of a contractual thing with them. And I think if they could work it out, Brunson would be there long term. I don't think they ever want him to leave. I just think that he played way better than they thought he was going to be, and they're going to have to pay him a lot more money than they assumed, which is money I don't think they have.
I give Brunson, I give him like 13 to 15 million a year.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Like 3-4 years.
Getting paid less than Evan to play better? Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
But bro, see the point guard position is not really. I'm not really like begging for a point guard because I understand that this team works best when the ball is in RJ and Randall's hands. My issue is the wing situation. I think that's more of a dire need than
a backup wing. Because at this point, RJ is a 3.
Starting wing next to RJ, more dynamic wing.
So you mean pushing RJ to the 2?
2 or 3. It's just somebody who's interchangeable with him, who's taller than him.
And then what you do with Fournier? You stick Fournier to the bench?
Yeah, he's got to go. He's got to go to the bench.
He's got to go
to the bench. But I mean, what I think. All right, so this is what I would do. I think RJ, in his role, I think if you push him to the 2, it'll pigeonhole him back into the kind of like spot up position. I think he's best suited as like a point forward in a way where he doesn't have to score every play, but he's putting an assistance on just playmaking. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing that I always liked about RJ is he's not a selfish player. As much as he's going to try to score, he's always going to look for the best play to make at that time. So that's why I want the ball in RJ's hands. So if you do bring in another wing kind of guy, I would say Jeremy Grant kind of guy, and you push Mitch. I mean, I don't know what you do with Mitch, but you push Julius to the 5. You know what I'm saying? In that kind of situation, if you have a wing that's longer than RJ and that can stretch the floor a little bit better than RJ, than Julius would at the 4 spot in terms of just being a wing. You know what I mean? Out there, defense, offense. There's a few plays tonight where I saw Julius just take a step towards a guy, but not commit to the defense, and that it annoyed me. But we won, so I'm not really gonna go crazy off of it.
So my thing, real quick, dog, and Apollo. My thing about the Jeremy Grant stuff is, okay, I understand why we're interested in it. And I watched the game tonight. If you can get Grant while keeping Obi in quickly, you almost have to do it. even if you're giving up a first. I think you just almost have to do it. I think
That's
you
the
almost
issue,
have to.
though. That's the issue, though, because Detroit, they looks like they clean the house. They want to get rookies and young players and stuff. So they're gonna be asking for Quickly. That'd probably be the first. Quickly and Obi probably be the first words out their mouth.
We're gonna be in order to get what we want, guys. Let's be real. We're gonna have to part with someone we like.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to happen. Like, and that's the reason why we so scared to talk about trades, because names come up with guys that we don't want to trade.
Ooh.
But
No,
that's not how the game works. It's not how the game works. We got a lot of young We got a lot of young guys. For the first time, this is the best farm we've had in a long time.
Yeah,
we got
ever
excess.
seen. No, not
Like,
ever seen.
Ever seen in the Knicks. Yeah. Even back dating going all the way to down to Jericho Sims. Like, there's teams that would be like, yo, I'll put him in my G League in 2 years. He's gonna be an animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a bunch of guys that teams would love to have and just work on. You talk about Deuce McBride. You think teams don't want Deuce?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They probably calling him like crazy, man. What
he's
he's doing in the G League?
Going crazy over that kid. Yo, he's not. You don't got the minutes for him. Send him over this way. I guarantee you these conversations are being had.
That's a fact.
This is the first time we have a farm that I'm really, really, really confident in.
I think, and y'all can answer this. I don't think Leon Rose will make a trade and trade Obi. Only trade Obi, trade Quickly, trade RJ.
No.
Let Mitch walk. For this only reason. Image.
Yeah.
He has a young core that the fan base connects to. And remember last year that he said, I think it was reported that he didn't want to break up the chemistry.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't really want to make major moves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why a lot of people get on Leon Rose, because they say he bargain bin shop. I've said it before myself, but I think that's what it is, bro. I don't think he's going to trade Obi and Quickly and those guys. And and if I'm him, why am I in the rush?
Watch it. Exactly. For the first time, we got some guys that we actually should offer a bunch of non-rookie contracts to.
Yes.
For the first time, we have more than one guy that we're comfortable saying, yo, when this guy's not a rookie, not on his rookie contract anymore, I have no problem extending him or re-signing him to another deal. You at least got RJ with that. You at least got Quickly with that. And Obi's on his way to doing that. He still got some work to put in. But you got at least two guys that you will get. Frank wasn't he the first guy that got extended past his rookie deal?
Who?
Frank Ntilikina?
Last year.
No.
I don't think they brought it. So it's still Charlie. Is it still Charlie? No. Because it was
Ward.
Charlie Ward, and then they said Frank Ntilikina was the only guy that they gave an extension to that was a rookie from his rookie.
Nope.
Right?
He didn't get no.
He didn't get an extension. Okay.
The last person was to get an extension was Charlie Ward, 1994.
Yeah. No, not extension. Resign.
Yeah,
That's resign. Yeah. So RJ and Quickly look like the next guys up for that. RJ next year. I don't think there's any question, huh?
Mitch, gotta pay Mitch.
I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know about that either.
They got some choices to make, because I'm gonna tell you what, Mitch having great games right now might not mean, oh, this looks great. It might mean, all right, yo, so you see how he's looking.
Yeah, not everybody can come. Wherever we need to go, not everybody's gonna make that trip.
Like, I like what Mitch is doing right now because it raises his value. Because if he's not gonna work here, he's got to work somewhere else. But that don't mean I don't want him to be a good player. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited for Mitch's development recently and what he's been doing and getting him involved, because it's at least showing other teams, yo, this guy, if you get him involved and you put him in the right system, he will be an animal. But like I mentioned last show, you can't keep these three guys here long term. RJ, Mitch, and Julius.
Yes, you can.
It can't. It's not championship. That's not gonna work.
Not championship? What you mean?
Because if you look at last year in the playoffs, you saw what happened with Julius in the playoffs. That didn't happen because he just didn't know how to make a pass because he's being double teamed. He had guys that was not stretching the floor.
Correct.
When you don't have guys that's gonna stretch the floor, like last game when we played against the Spurs, I think there was a play where I mentioned it last show. There was a play where Julius had, I think it might have been Bryn Forbes on him, and Mitch had his man on him, and he's in the paint, and he's about to come set a pick, and then Julius is like, nah, like just move. But where's he gonna go? He's gonna go to the 3-point line and spread the floor,
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's not going straight too far from the paint. So if he's not going straight too far from the paint, his man don't got to stray too far from the paint. And where's Julius gonna go?
Right into a triple team.
Right into the triple team every single time. So unless the only way that this works is if Julius himself runs way more pick and roll with Mitch than he has, because everybody else is learning to do it. Like guards, the guards, of course, Kemba's gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? RJ's doing it, but Julius needs to get him involved to get him out of his way sometimes.
Yeah.
Just to spread that floor a little bit. If not, it's either you, and we talked about this last show, and I'm not saying this is what I suggest, especially after a win. So I don't want people to get crazy. I'm just talking long term. If you have RJ there and he's going to be the main guy that you're not unquestionably not going to touch in a trade, and the only guys you're talking about touching in a trade is Mitch, you're talking about Julius. The only reason why you guys are talking about that is because now everybody's loving what they're seeing out of RJ. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, in order for you guys to all three of these guys to work, RJ has to be getting Mitch involved to get him out of that paint, and Julius has to get involved to get him out of that paint. But you got to be careful of the playoff, because when the playoffs come, getting Mitch involved is really not really going to help you unless Julius is at the top of the key.
Yeah.
And that means he has to have the ball up top again and then call Mitch out there for those pick and rolls. And that's not where we want Mitch with the ball. I mean, Julius with the ball all the time. So
like another answer then is we need another alternative to Mitch. You know, when things are going in that direction, we need somebody that can stretch the floor a little bit.
That can stretch the floor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, it's interesting, man, because I mean, we like I said, we have excess. We have excess in youth. We have excess in like these fringe players like Burks and Nerlens Noel and this, that, and the other. So, right. We can make a lateral trade. It doesn't have to be like a big bang trade. It just be a lateral trade. Maybe a team needs a shot blocker, but then they have a guy that can stretch a little bit, so we can do like a lateral swap to just to help out in that way. Because I mean, if just like you're saying, if RJ and Julius got it going and whatever, it would make sense if he's gonna wave off Mitch, let him wave off the guy that can shoot. At least you can have a strategy. When Mitch is out there, you're gonna do one thing. When the other center's there, you can do something else.
Exactly. And makes it harder for teams to game plan for you. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and that's that's the thing, when you have a bunch of guys at one position that primarily do the same thing, it makes it easier for, when you got Nerlens out there, you got Mitch out there, and Taj is, he's been trying to stretch the floor. He'll kick it up. I'll give him a guarantee from the foul line. You know what I'm saying? Which is way more than Mitch can do, which is more than Nerlens can do consistently. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, you're not really getting any floor spacing out of none of your bigs. You know what I'm saying? And you can't play Taj a lot of minutes because he just doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, he don't have it.
So we got to figure something out when it comes to just, our 5 spot, getting more movement on the floor. We figured it out recently. These guys are starting the ball, but teams will game plan. They get paid to do it. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be ready for that adjustment. And can we adjust consistently?
Honestly, bro, when it comes to last year playoffs, at the end of the day, it's on Tibbs.
Mm-hmm. And our lineup was a little bit hard to deal with. But
come on, bro. If you ever coach a basketball game, you don't take a dude out the second game of playoffs, and then you switch up your whole rotation like that. You're bound to lose.
You're gonna lose.
The thing that I'm paying attention to this year playoffs more than anybody is RJ Barrett. He was low-key worse than Randall last year. And I gave him a pass. The only reason why I gave him a pass is because I'm like, he's young, he in his second year. I'm gonna let him chill. I'm not gonna really get on him. But he stunk it up. I think he averaged like 12 points and he was shooting under 40%. So I'm gonna look at him.
Absolutely.
And I'm absolutely looking at Tom Thibodeau.
Mm-hmm.
his sixth straight playoff appearance. Previous 5, he gets bumped out of the first round in the previous 5. This shit's 6, bro. I need to see some, Tibbs. You gotta win. You gotta win a playoff series, bro. It's fine.
That's the keys to all this, man. I was saying RJ is the key, but Tom Thibodeau is the key too. Because like no matter who we trade for or this, that, and the other, if Tom Thibodeau is not seeing what we're seeing, because I mean, Apollo had 2 takes today that he would just basically broke down an offense or whatever. I mean, Tom Thibodeau, you don't see that, bro. Like, and they have a whole coaching staff too. Like nobody sees what we see because it's just basic. Like my philosophy is one way. States is his, Apollo's is his too. But at least we're talking from a basketball standpoint. So this is how we want to do blah 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 blah. So just the way that Tom Thibodeau is doing stuff, like you just don't get it. Because I mean, last year in the playoffs, that was just that he just got completely exposed. Now leading up into this point of the season, how many different looks did the Knicks give us this year? So many different teams. Kemba started and Kemba was off the bench, and then RJ played a certain way in the beginning, and then he started playing terrible. Now he's playing great again, but he's playing different than he did the first time.
It's just weird. It's just weird. Like you don't know what team you're gonna get half the time. But I do credit Tibbs a little bit for adjusting to this part, because I've been saying for a long time that you had to get the ball in RJ's hands. He has to be involved. The thing people say RJ doesn't have that he doesn't have that, like that Ja Morant and all of this stuff, like all these other players that they mention when they talk about he just doesn't have it factor that everybody's talking about. You got to realize something. RJ Barrett is the epitome of good energy and chemistry. He's even when he's pissed off at you, he's not going to show it. He's not going to yell at you. He's not going to try to disappoint you. If you look at when he came into Duke, that's why I tell people all the time. He came into Duke and we talked about it last show, Joe and I. He came into Duke being the number 1 recruit in the nation. And who ended up being the number 1 draft pick? Zion Williamson. Why? Because he just came and took over. Did RJ, while Zion was having his run at Duke, start pouting and start, having poor body language? Nah, he took it in stride. And even when Zion wasn't playing, he stepped up and he took the lead, because he's just that kind of guy. He's not gonna come in and like, nah, this is my team, I'm gonna do it my way. Nah, how you want to do it? Let's figure this out together. Not everybody likes that. When it comes, I want to see my ball player coming in and demand the ball. Do you know what happens when you start demanding the ball in your rookie year, your sophomore year, your junior year? You turn off a lot of people. If you look at the team we played tonight, you can't tell me that Luka hasn't turned off a lot of people in that organization on his way to who he has been now, currently. As great as he's been, when you come in just like that, all you have to do is have a little bit of a deficiency. And people are like, well, see, look, you want to have the ball all the time. And then we talked about it during the show, during the game. How many step backs did we see from
he shoots a lot of dumb shots, bro.
How many step backs did we see from Luka? Ridiculous shots.
I think him and Tatum take the worst shots.
The wildest shots. And because they're talented, they're allowed to do it.
Yeah, now, that's the AAU shit, man.
Now look at how the Celtics are playing. Look at how the Mavericks are playing. Great players. These guys are great players. But let's be real. Is this how you want your team to be ran? Like, I don't mind RJ slowly coming along. I think all of what we're seeing recently is them literally saying, RJ, are you ready? Because last game versus the Spurs was the first game of his career where they went to him quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. That's the first time I've ever seen it happen.
Well, to add to that, though, they went to him, but then he also wanted it, though. That's the thing, too.
Yeah.
They went to him, and he also wanted it, too. So that's ill also.
Yeah.
You bring up a good points for RJ, man. But I gotta say too that that he still was getting off in Duke. He still was getting 20. What was he? 20, whatever. He was
averaging the same as he was averaging the same as Zion.
Bro, he broke SEC No, he broke the freshman scoring record.
Yeah.
ACC scoring record for a freshman at Duke. I think he was like the youngest with 750, 250 rebounds, 250 assists. Like he was amazing at Duke.
And he was the Robin to the Batman.
He was the Robin. But the low key thing that I love about RJ the most, he's low maintenance, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So that bodes well in the future for a guy like Luka, one of those guys who's gonna come here and will probably get all the spotlight. But we all know who the team.
We already know who the leader is, for real. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a lot of things that I've seen times where RJ and Julius, and don't get me wrong, I love these guys, and I think these guys love each other. But there has been some chemistry issues on the court. Off the court, I don't think they have an issue. I think on the court, they have had times where they didn't know who should be having the ball, who should be primarily trying to score. And, like I said, RJ's not the guy who's going to be like, yo, what you doing, Julius? Nah, he's going to let him make him mistakes and be like, yeah, you good, bro. Next time. And that's sometimes that's a negative on RJ, because sometimes you might need to make the guy know, like, yo, I didn't like that play that you just, that dumbass shot that you just threw up. But like sometimes you gotta have that kind of guy who makes it easier for you, because now you can have these kind of games where, I could have 32, but we all involved. Let's talk about RJ real quick, because we didn't really get into the stats of RJ Barrett tonight. So first. My chat has been in here, and these guys have been talking. I ain't sure these guys no love. Shout out to the chat. Let's start over from here. Yeah. Where regular Joe was like, Apollo, how long have I been screaming we need a wing, bro? He's been saying it for a long time. We need a wing. We need a wing bad, and that's definitely something that I think we should do. It. And it might have to force us to play a little bit of small ball, if that's the case.
I wanted a wing since we drafted RJ.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, we really should have Macau or Miles Bridges, but let's not go there. Anyway,
don't do that.
Not gonna go there.
Don't do that.
We're not gonna go there.
One got Chris Paul, one got LaMelo Ball. Don't do
that. But they both better than Knox. Not doing it. But anyway,
come on.
They both better than Knox. We're not doing it.
Frank Ntilikina, we should have drafted Donovan Mitchell. Oh my God.
We're not doing it. We're not doing that.
Don't do it.
Great.
We can't do that.
Timeline, bro.
I get you.
It has to happen.
We wouldn't have had RJ. We wouldn't have had RJ,
man.
We wouldn't have had RJ if we wouldn't got those other guys. I get it.
No, it's not just RJ. We would have had Steve Mills would still be here, bro.
A whole lot of shit would have happened. We probably still would have Alfred Payton. But, let's chill.
What are we doing here?
Oh God. Wow. Oh man.
All right, we're back, y'all.
Hold on. When people say, "Yo, we should have drafted Donovan Mitchell. We should have drafted this guy." Okay,
just had to hit my smudge spray one time.
The one Porzingis on a max contract. You tell me if you want Porzingis on a max contract and you want Steve Mills to still be here, and we'll have a drink together, bro.
I'm telling you right now.
Wait a second. What the hell is Steve drinking right now? He got a family size of Ciroc.
That's like the fifth time that he put the bottle to his face. I act like I ain't see it. But listen, this is what he. Shout out to the Ciroc. You Ciroc boy in the house, right?
This from New Year's. I ain't drink the whole thing.
Yo, it's funny.
Oh my God.
Because I seen it earlier. I'm like, oh, he's drinking water, but then I see the little red part. I'm like, yo, is that a Ciroc bottle?
He said water.
But then I seen you had the water. You did have the water. Yeah, you had the water.
Yeah, I saw the water at first, but then I said, wait a second. Did he just bust out the Ciroc bottle?
Oh man, brother BKL. So great. Here we go again by state. He said, actually, the key to the game is all about play well and play nice by the Knicks. Mm-hmm. But focus through the ball is exactly how they play. Besides, the Knicks play like, okay, that's my game. No, they play. And he said nice and smooth. These guys, listen, man. There's a lot of things that they're starting to figure out. And shout out to the Knicks, by the way. We're finally 500. About goddamn time.
Be back, baby.
Time. Back to 500. Back to 500. And we were at this point last year.
Exactly. Yeah.
And at the same exact spot. I think we breach 5. I know as of coming into tonight, we had the same record as we did last year at this point. Difference is we have 10 more games this year. So that opens up the opportunity for us to, figure out more of our team, our chemistry, the lineup, what it's going to look like, and still have an extra 10 games to get it right. Like, I think there was and I still want to clear that play-in. I don't want to be in a play-in. I think we really got to find a way to land in that 6th spot at minimum.
This is why I think it's imperative for Derrick Rose to be healthy. He got to be healthy. So what I mean by he healthy, I don't want to see that man until late March or April.
I want to see,
I'm good on Derrick Rose.
Not late March.
Yeah, March is kind of far.
Late February, I say.
Healthy, bro. No, late March, bro. I need him healthy, bro. Because I really want to get out the first round, bro. I'm tired of this stigma after we lost in the first round last year, how bad Randall looked, how bad RJ looked, how horrible Tibbs looked, how we got clowned about, like we was laughing at Hawk fans because we smoked them in the regular season. We 4-0 them. Need that fire back, man.
We smoking them this year again too, ain't we?
Nah, I think we
2-1. We 2-1, I think.
I
guess with Atlanta?
Yeah.
But Atlanta got bigger problems to worry about.
They got a lot of problems to worry about.
What seed they had last year, the almighty 6th seed, they got bigger problems to worry about now.
They might not even make the playoffs, man. They might be like a play-in team.
Hey,
the way that they've been playing.
Reddish, man. Help y'all out a lot. I'm telling y'all he will. Cam Reddish, y'all love him.
Yo, here's a key date, February 10th. That's the trade deadline. The trade deadline is like literally like right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Yeah. So.
Listen, man. I think we talked about Leon Rose and his reputation, and I think we talked about it in the good way. I think there's the opposite end of the stick is, listen, my name is Leon Rose. Y'all ain't about to be out here looking like this, and I'm gonna just keep y'all here. Nah, like something has to be, a decision has to be made. And I think if these guys didn't start looking anything like they looked recently, I'm sure that they would have pulled I guarantee you they would have pulled the plug on the trade real quick. One more for the chat. Eddie C said Nerlens for Buka. I'd take it, but I highly doubt that they take that from us.
They don't want that.
Yeah,
they're not taking that. I think if you throwing Nerlens
in a first,
Nerlens Knox in the first or Nerlens Knox in the second, they probably take it.
How much pizzazz does Leon Rose have to get me Miles Turner without trading Mitch?
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
See, some things in life.
I'm sorry, bro. It's not going to happen. I wish. Yeah. Listen, I would 2K that trade right now, but it just ain't going to happen, bro. I wish I could make it happen, fam.
I don't know what Indiana's up to, man. What are they trying to do over there? You know, I don't get them either.
Shout out to Freezy, by the way, man. Shout out to Freezy.
Yeah, shout out to Freezy, man.
That's funny. What else Joe said? Joe said we about to be 3-1 after we smoked them on Friday. Cue the David Randolph music. Wait, who do we play on Friday? We played
We played the Hawks on Saturday.
The Hawks on Saturday. Yeah, that's right. Is it? Yeah, we played the Hawks on Saturday. Okay. Nice little two-day break. Wow, man. This is going to be, so we're leading them 3. Wait, hold on. What did he say? He said
we about to be 3-1.
We're about to be 3-1. Yeah, so this is the last game versus the Hawks this year. Okay. We got to finish off with a win. We know for a fact that they're going to want to come back and tie up the series because they know how it was last year. They don't like Knicks fans in Atlanta. So every single time we beat them, they cringe like really, really, really bad.
Yeah, these tiebreakers are important too, though, man. We definitely got to keep control of these things. If you want to make the playoffs and it starts getting tight, where all the games are like one behind each other and stuff like that, we definitely gonna need these advantages.
Those standings really Really gonna mess you up. He said Saturday, so no David Randolph music. Is that Friday night Knicks on MSG?
Yeah. You gotta get there.
I'm so glad we're not playing on Friday. Jesus Christ, man.
The East
Shout out to David Randolph. No, shout out to David Randolph, but
shout out to
just
David Randolph.
we don't.
How many years has he been eating off that song, man? The Friday Night Knicks, I feel like it's been like the last 10 years. Like, damn, man. Can we
collecting? He's collecting, man.
Yo, that man is out there every Friday. They're like, yo, we're gonna get. I'm like, there we go.
I remember Friday Night Knicks when Tony Douglas was my starting point guard.
Oh,
whoa, Tony Douglas.
Oh, listen. If there's one person you can name in Knicks history that's gonna piss me off, it's Tony Douglas.
Tony Douglas, what Tony Douglas do to you, man?
Tony Douglas got on my nerves every game. Even his good games, he got on my nerves. I don't know why. Just
because he was supposed to be better than what he was.
Everybody who played for the Knicks is supposed to be better than he was, so I can't get mad at him for that. You know what I'm saying? But it was just something about Tony. Maybe it was the way he moved. Something was off about him, bro.
Yeah, he was weird.
I think he was one of those dudes where I felt like he had long arms and short legs, and he just looked weird in the court. You know what I'm saying? It was just he could shoot well. I don't know.
He looked like an old school crackhead and shit. That's what he looked
like. He said, "Stop that!" I literally hear it. He's talking about the Friday Night Knicks on MSG song.
Oh man,
yeah, man, yeah. But anyway, let's not. We getting to the end of it here. Let's see who else we can talk about before we get up out of here. Let's just shout out to Nerlens. Nerlens came back tonight. 2 for 4 from the field. He had two blocks. 6 rebounds. He was pretty serviceable. You know, we needed that backup because Taj didn't play tonight. Taj didn't play, so I think Jericho got in there at the end, the last minute and 13 seconds. So it's good to see Nerlens. Hopefully we can raise his trade value or something. Because I don't know, just having him and Mitch there is to me is completely redundant.
Yeah, that was redundant. I was screaming at Knicks fans all summer. Oh, Nerlens is good. Well, him and Mitch do the same goddamn thing.
Do the same thing.
In the playoffs, teams going to bog down on RJ and Randall, and the paint is going to be clogged. This is why LeBron literally complained and said and looked at Frank Vogel in a playoff game. There's no space. So
this is why LeBron turned Chris Bosh and Kevin Love into shooters too, because you ain't gonna be in my way. Get the fuck out the way. Get your ass in the corner, so I can do me. And if you look at Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, they get their points primarily. They play making the same similar fashion as LeBron James, not LeBron James anywhere near that level. But I'm saying in terms of where they primarily get their baskets, how they're mostly effective. You got to move out the way if you want them guys to be effective, bro.
So, if we talking about like future wise, and we talking about like trying to win the championship and stuff like that, whatever Klay Thompson archetype is, super 3-and-D pause, super shooter, whatever is that. That's what the Knicks need between RJ Barrett and Julius Randle.
Nah, I think the thing about Klay is an amazing role player. Like, and I don't think people realize that.
Yeah,
he's a super. No. Klay is a role player. He's not.
Yeah, he's a role player.
He is a role player. Don't get me wrong.
I disagree.
He is a star. Puts up star numbers, star talent, but he is a role player in that system, bro. That's and it's not a disservice to him. It's not to take away from who he is. I'm not trying to disrespect him, but he is not the kind of guy who's gonna run your team. He's to me what I want to see from Quentin Grimes. See what I'm saying?
I feel you on that.
No disrespect to none of the OG vet NBA players.
Mm-hmm.
Klay is the best second option of all time.
Second option is what?
Option. That's a role.
That's a role player.
Yeah, that still can be an all-star / superstar.
Yeah. That's what I said.
So Wade was a superstar as the second option next to LeBron.
No, Wade was a superstar though. Wade could run a team on his own.
Yeah, he won a championship already.
He won a team. He already won a championship as the best player on that team. You know what I'm saying? He was the best player on that team.
Yeah, he had a ragtag group of guys though.
Yeah.
You talk about Hampton, Walker.
Take D Wade off that team and see what the mole ass motherfucker was doing.
Yo,
they wasn't going nowhere.
Was
like Ben Gay, smell like
ice all over, boy.
Yeah, icy hot, freaking Ben Gay, all that shit, man.
Yo, they had the buckets lined up in front of the lockers every single game. They ain't even everybody needed it. Even D Wade needed the ice, bro. All of them needed it.
They got corners on shots to say who wants the corners on shots?
That's old school NBA. Remember, man, they used to let you put the hand check them and all that, bump knees, knock down. So
yeah. But that's what I want to see from Quentin. I like to see a Clay out of Quentin Grimes. You know what I'm saying? I think he can be somebody that is gonna come in and play their role and not have to have the ball in his hand. Clay scored 60. What we was talking about the other day, Joe? 62 on 11 dribbles. You don't need the ball.
But
you don't need the ball.
That only happens because
of Steph.
Steph is just
gravity.
He's the engine of all engines, bro.
Listen, but the thing about Steph also is he's a lot better passer than people give him credit for. Yes. You know what I'm saying? He's not just a scorer. You know what I mean? It's easy to say, all right, this guy scores a lot of points, so he grabs a lot of attention. Well, if he's not creating any plays for anybody else, how much is he really helping you? You know what I'm saying? He's creating plays for himself, but you got to be able to create plays for somebody else, and that's what Steph does very, very well.
The key with that too is that they don't have Tom Thibodeau. They had Steve Kerr that had an offense, built around, those guys, just getting them open, the spacing and stuff like that. And he also had Draymond Green, which he was basically their point guard, over there. Yeah. So that having Draymond and the offense and stuff like that allowed Clay to take one dribble and get 60. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's that's kind of what I think will happen here, unfortunately. I don't like getting into this conversation, but I've been saying it since the moment we hired him. It screams a lot of the Mark Jackson vibes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those Mark Jackson vibes where there was an issue where we stated all the time they wanted him to add more wrinkles to his offense, and he didn't really want to add those guys to help him add those wrinkles to his. They were a great defensive team, taught them how to play defense and play together defensively, but the moment Steve Kerr stepped in that building, they were a different team. Yeah. Unfortunately, as much as I love Mark, they were a completely different team on offense. You know what I'm saying?
But low key, Mark Jackson was the reason why they got Harrison Barnes. Mark Jackson was low key the reason why.
Well, they ain't win till they got rid of Harrison either.
Yeah, but Mark Jackson, remember, he tanked the season, low key. People don't even know that he tanked one of those seasons for Golden State to get Harrison Barnes because he felt like the Warriors needed a taller wing next to Klay Thompson. But when you got a coach like that and you say, I got the greatest shooting backcourt in NBA history, it's nice like that. That's why I appreciate Tibbs sometimes because I know he's a 63-year-old idiot, but at the same time, I know he want to win.
God damn.
At the end of the day, I know he want to win. We was up 21. The man is standing there coaching his butt off. I'm like, Tibbs, give it a break, bro.
Yeah. Right.
Take the night off, man.
Damn. Yeah.
But Mark Jackson, he unlocked them though. He unlocked the confidence. Guys got healthy around the same time too. Draymond Green came into his own, but Kerr was like the DLC. Down low. You know what I'm saying? He was like
he said, "Oh, this is 2K is a great game, but in like a week we gonna download some new content that's gonna really blow this shit open." And that's kind of what happened there. And that's I always wanted to give Mark Jackson a chance, even here, but the same reasons that we're complaining about Tibbs is the same reasons why I was scared of Mark Jackson. I just was scared of those wrinkles in the offense, which we're starting to see. And maybe we're starting to see that because you're getting guys who are more team oriented and don't mind spreading that ball out. 24 assists tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not something that you see all the time. I would like for us to average around 20, 21. Give us that. Like these guys can do that. You guys can do that shit. Like if you look at this roster, You look at the guys that you have a bunch of unselfish players outside of Evan Fournier. I mean, I ain't gonna front.
Killing me with that. It's a rock bottle, man.
Yo, but listen, Evan Fournier, bro.
Mhm.
I love what he brings, but sometimes he takes these shots where it's like, damn, bro, like, damn, bro, like
that shot.
yeah, like yo, you knew it was a bad shot when you put it up because it was like off balance, it was off 1 foot, but you was like, yo, like I feel it, I'm feeling it right now. But I don't mind that. If there's one guy on the team that does that, cool. But he just needs to be the sixth man. Same reason why I didn't mind J.R. Smith doing it to us when he was doing it. Why? Because he was the sixth man, which I think Evan Fournier's best position on this team is to be the sixth man because it allows him to shoot whatever the fuck shot he want to shoot. You know he wants to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know he wants to do it. I don't mind him being here, but when he's in the starting lineup, sometimes, like you can not start him and still bring him in and play him with the starters. Like I don't think it's a complete removal from a lineup. I just think that Evan Fournier needs to get a certain amount of shots to be effective. And
so bringing it back to the Warriors stuff, right? I'm gonna ask a question like this: who is the Andre Iguodala of the Knicks down the line?
We didn't get him yet. We didn't get him yet. We didn't get him yet.
What I mean by that is there a signing out there? Is there a draft pick out there? Like, is there? What is that one move that get him over the top? Because the Warriors got good by development, but that Andre Iguodala pickup was.
He was a great pickup. And I mean, you got to realize, though, he didn't really win a lot of places before he got to the Warriors. He didn't. He was in Philly for a while. He was in Denver for a year, I think, or two. Maybe it was a year. And then he went to Golden State, and then that's where his career kind of took off because it was like you put him with guys. And it has to be a high IQ player who's also a wing. There's not many of those in the league. We talked about one of them already, who I think we can probably. Dre loves this guy, Harrison Barnes. I think that's a nice guy you can pick up who could bring you veteran leadership. He's not selfish. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna cost you a lot.
And he's been there. He's been there before.
Yeah. And he's been there with the Warriors too.
I wouldn't mind.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind it. So that's a wing guy that I think he plays defense, takes smart shots. He might not be the guy you want to be taking shots all the time, but also he's not gonna come in and demand the ball. Right. He's gonna play good defense. He's gonna get you, make high IQ plays. And those are the guys we need to go after. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we could touch those guys. Those guys, we could touch them. Some of these other guys, bigger names, we can't touch those guys.
Untouchable, yeah.
But Harrison Barnes, we can touch him. We can say Alec Burke and throw in this and that, and maybe we can touch, a guy like Harrison Barnes. I get it.
Well, I just thought of a lineup with Randall at the 5, Barnes at the 4, Reddish at the 3, RJ at the 2, and I don't give a damn who's at the 1. But right. I like that 5.
Yeah, right. Because to be honest with you, when you got if these guys are developing and they continue to get better as playmakers, I'm not concerned who's our starting point guard like that. Especially if we got guys already with these guys that are comfortable with them that play that position, like Deuce McBride or Emmanuel Quickly. I'm not worried. You can plug those guys in as your starter, kind of like the Mavericks did with Jalen Brunson. He doesn't have to be a star, but someone who comes in and plays his position well.
Freaking Dallas. What about JJ Barea when he was there? They plugged him in there. He looked crazy, because Jason Terry and Kidd was the starters, but JJ came in there.
Ultimate role player.
Yeah.
Ultimate role player. That guy was the smallest bit of might I've ever seen, bro. Like he could get wherever he wanted. He could take whatever shot. Like I really loved watching JJ Barea play, especially for the Mavericks that year when they went against the Heat. It was just like, damn, like this dude, size don't matter, man. Like you can't say, oh, he's too small to play in the league. Like sometimes you really gotta have effort. That's why I don't really care when somebody says he's too small. Show me that effort, bro.
I knew JJ was real back in 2011, game 2 of the Lakers versus Mavericks, bro. Bro, he was killing the Lakers. Bro.
Yeah,
he was killing the Lakers so bad that what's crazy man name with the fro? What's dude name? Y'all know what? Andrew Bynum.
Oh yeah,
In the
Bynum was crazy,
bro. JJ is he's the Fred VanVleet before Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, facts. That's a fact. That's a fact, without a doubt. Because he came in, he was lighting it up, so he could shoot, he could do whatever he wanted.
Yo, and he defended crazy. I'm like, yo, why is this little European dude killing them like that?
No, he's Puerto Rican, bro.
He's Puerto Rican.
Yeah. Yo, I knew JJ was
Spanish.
for real. Yo, I knew he was for real when I saw him. Like they had him in the practice, and he was drinking a fucking Malta, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was drinking like a Malta freaking Goya in the practice. So
he's real as fuck.
He's real as fuck. Braun in them. Oh,
nah, he's real. He's real. Joe says we was talking about Evan. He said Evan comes off the pick and roll, turns into Sandra Bullock.
Yo, I was dying when I saw that. I was crying. I was dying laughing when he said that. Oh my god, that is stupid.
Yo, it's hilarious though because he's looking at the basket. He's not looking at a person, a soul, nobody else, bro. He could lose his ball handle. He could, I swear, he gonna pick up his dribble and he gonna look straight up at the basket. He's not looking at no teammates.
Crazy.
He's gonna take that damn shot. You say he can't see shit. Mitch be wide open on the roll. Xavier said Evan can be a 6-man except when we play the Celtics. Yeah, that's you are a starter. You are the star when we play the Celtics, bro. Like I don't want to see you like doing nothing else that game but shooting. Like, yo, Celtics play tonight. Yo, come in. But unfortunately, well, maybe we might see them in the playoffs somehow, some way. That'd be cool. But if everything plays off the way it's playing, we won't see them till next year.
I got a funny feeling our playoff matchup gonna be Philly in the first round, and I want
6-3. 6-3.
I
don't mind. The only teams I don't want to see in our first round is the same two teams I didn't want to see last year, and that's Milwaukee and Brooklyn.
I'm good on Milwaukee too. No, we can see Brooklyn because Kyrie can't play.
Right. He's gonna play every other game.
He can't play every other game. He can't play no game in New York.
Yeah.
Remember? So if he plays in New York, he can't play at all, home or away. Like it's over. Yeah. It's over. But out of spite, I feel like Durant would torch the hell out of the fucking Knicks in that situation. And he still can. He pisses me off. Yeah. Anyway. He was talking about Iguodala. He said it worked because he was the secondary playmaker to Draymond. Yeah, he definitely was a secondary playmaker. But I mean, he was like the leader of the bench. Him, Sean Livingston, that team, bro.
Maurice Spates.
That was a squad. Like that's how you build a squad.
No,
and we doing shit like that.
Play point guard.
Yeah. He used to play point guard for him.
Well, that first championship in Golden State, they had David Lee, they had Bogut, they had mad guys on that team, man. That first championship team.
Goodness, that team was deep.
That team was good. Caldwell Pope could be our poor man Iguodala.
No,
I don't like Caldwell.
Getting in fights with teammates and all that.
Yeah, what was that about? He just last night he fought Montrez.
Yes, man. He had an ankle bracelet
at halftime.
Didn't he have an ankle bracelet, man? The guy was locked up in the summertime one year when he was with the Lakers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, get this guy out of here, man.
You talking about Caldwell Pope, man?
No, not get Xavier out of here. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about get Caldwell Pope out of here. That's what
I'm good on Caldwell Pope.
I'm good, bro. Especially at this point, he's over the hill. He's trying to prove himself in the league. He's fighting teammates at halftime. LeBron didn't want him. What the hell I want with him? You know what I'm saying?
At least Randall ain't fighting nobody in the locker room.
That's
fact. Good.
That's facts. Speaking of which, what would have happened if the Knicks never found a way find the way until trade deadline strike down? What would happen?
I don't know about that. I think Leon will absolutely make a trade.
I think there's been too many rumored Knicks involved in this kind of deal trade talks for him to not pull the trigger on nothing, especially if we would have kept playing the way we was playing up until like 2 weeks ago. Nah, yeah, I think it'd have been something. Eddie says State is onto something with Reddish though. The Knicks have always had had him on their radar. Yes, I like it. And you had tweeted about that earlier. I don't know what they would have to trade. I imagine that he's not cheap.
No.
They're not planning on re-signing him. Why wouldn't he be cheap?
Because his value. It's his value. He just has a certain players like the same reason why we have to play Kemba because his value. Like you can't just not play him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, check out Bol. You saw what Detroit got for Bol. It's like, so I mean, these NBA teams are freaking retarded, man. So I mean,
yeah.
you know, they basically
What did they trade?
got
Was it a first round pick?
no a second round pick and like some dude that you never heard of. Yeah, he's decent, man, but not for Bol.
Oh, Rodney.
Yeah.
See, the reason why they got away with that though is because he's a bench player. Bobo. He's not a starter. So that was the only reason why they could get away with that kind of trade, because it's like, yo, what are you really gonna make me give you for a bench guy? Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what we gotta have that attitude with Cam. Is Cam starting over there?
He was starting for a minute because of COVID.
Yo, he was starting, and then something fishy. Like last game, he only played 13 minutes, but he wasn't hurt. So I'm like, I know he's gonna get traded because they showcased him in the starting lineup, and then they pulled him, and then they just didn't play him for the rest of the game. So I wouldn't be surprised when we play the Hawks, they feature Cam Reddish. I wouldn't be surprised.
Just to see how he plays. Are we playing that? Hold on. This game is going to be played at, yeah, we're going to be playing in Atlanta. Yeah.
It's a late game, thank God, man. Those early games on a Saturday be killing me, man.
Oh my goodness, bro.
It's a late. What's 7:30?
Yeah, it's a regular time.
Okay, yeah, 7:30 on Saturday. That's not bad, especially because, like you said, there's a lot of 1 o'clock games. I think at some point next week we got a 1 o'clock game. No, on Monday we have a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, MLK,
Martin Luther King Day. Yep.
So shout outs to Regular Joe. Don't tell nobody, but the Knicks have won 9 of 12. Don't tell nobody this either, Regular Joe.
Don't
Julius
tell
Randle put the thumbs down to the fans. We've been undefeated.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not gonna lie. I do. Speaking of the fans, I want to talk about this real quick. They have turned RJ into their star in that building. He feels like a king in that building now. And I said it before at the end of last game. No, I think it was during the game last game. I'm like, the crowd, you know, this is while they were booing Julius a little bit. I'm like, yo, everything RJ does, the crowd is just all over it. And I'm like, I think with that game winner in the Garden, that was it. That sealed the deal for all the fans. That sealed the deal. That is now his building, bro. That is now his building. He has one more. Yeah, think about it like this. He has one more game winner than Julius Randle does.
That's true.
He is, listen, that building, every single time that boy touches the ball, every single time he's involved with a play, they light the hell up. So I predict for the rest of the regular season, they're not going to have a problem getting wins. They're not going to have a problem having bad games out of RJ. He might shoot poorly every now and then, but there's a certain amount of energy that he's had in the Garden ever since that Julius Boo moment. That's just been like, I don't know if, and it's almost like RJ feels it, but he don't want to show the excitement. He don't want to like get the crowd hyped because he doesn't want to like show up Julius in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like I see that he really tries not to do that.
Yo, yeah. Yo, the one thing I love about RJ, even when I like rag on Randle, the other day when Randle had 2 points, RJ defended him his whole interview. Yeah. And I'm looking at RJ, I'm like, yo, that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you do. But also, if you look at Julius's interview, Julius didn't speak at all. Every single time they gave him a question, he basically dubbed it. I already spoke about it. The moment they asked him an RJ Barrett question, that was the most long-winded question he had for the entire interview.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, like there's no way I feel like these dudes don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they genuinely do like each other. They have had some difficulty making their games work together on the court sometimes, but recently you're starting to see like the 62-point game we had between the two of them, where one had 32 and the other had 30. RJ Barrett had another 30-something point game and another 30. He's the youngest Knick in history to have back-to-back 30-point games.
Apollo, but I don't think that's RJ. I think that's Randall maturing.
What you mean? You don't think what is RJ?
So for RJ to get these 30-point games, that is Randall basically saying, I understand that the young man is hot.
Or I think I understand that this young man, this young man is somebody that we're gonna need. So I need to make sure that I include him in what's going on.
That game that we were referring to when they had the 30-30, Randall, excuse me, RJ went to the corner and freaking Julius Randle was like, "Nah, man, get out the corner." He's dribbling, and he called him out the corner, said, "Here, get this, take this." So he gave him the ball, and RJ made a nice play or whatever. So I mean, you know, like Stay saying, the maturity, just to being aware of what's going on. Like, cause I mean, a lot of times this dribbling into triple teams that Randle be doing, a lot of it, man, you know, he could stop that by just stopping and seeing what's happening out there. A lot of times he's just going crazy. Sometimes just take a stop, you know. It's going to take just like you're saying, maturity and just you know, developing that poise to see that you got other guys out there. Get them off, you know.
Yeah, it's you know, also I wanted to point something out that Joe mentioned last show. End of the first quarter last game we played against the Spurs, RJ went on like an 8-point like scoring streak, and the final shot was shot by who? Julius Randle, and he barely grazed the rim on that step back, right? I saw, before he took the shot, I saw Burks getting him the ball. So even though I didn't like the shot, I didn't blame Julius, because I'm like, Burks, you knew who was hot,
right?
But you went to the star player, which I understand, because that's probably what the coach like, yo, get the ball to Julius. But when we got on the show, Joe mentioned that if you look at the play, someone else mentioned to Joe, I forgot who he was giving the credit to, but someone mentioned to him that they saw Julius when Burks was coming up the court trying to give him the ball, and coach was trying to give it to Julius. Julius was like, no, he was trying to wave it off, like, yo, like, chill. Like, he was reading the room. Like, yo, RJ is wilding right now. If I go out here and I take this dumbass shot, or even if I make it, why would I go out? RJ is wilding right now. Give him the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you give him the ball with 8 seconds left. What he's gonna do? Still try to find RJ? Like, nah, all right, now I gotta take this stupid shot. And he did the step back and he grazed the rim, but you can tell he wasn't in it. He didn't want to take that shot. You know what I'm saying? He really was looking for RJ to get involved. And I think he's a lot Rafael Macho Gonzalez. That's his name. Or however you say his name. Hopefully I didn't screw it up. But that's who the play was pointed out by. But Julius really is trying to get RJ involved. He wants RJ to start to feel like, all right, because the thing is that if you can have someone who can score the way RJ runs pick and roll, how do you defend RJ in the pick and roll?
Force him to his right, but that's not even working no more, because
nothing's working in that.
He's gonna throw the lob right over you. But this goes right back into Julius Randle just maturing. He's just maturing.
Exactly. Because Julius is starting to see, like, yo, this is helping us out. Like, this is getting us easy buckets.
He's new to this too, being the number one option guy. He's new to that.
He's new,
having all that the triple teams and people, offenses, defense is keying in on him. He's new to that stuff.
It's a lot of what, and people don't like when I use this reference because people are ridiculous. But I'm just talking about when it comes to two different type of teammates working together. RJ and Julius remind me a lot of Kobe and Shaq. And that, like I said, it's not about the talent. It's not about the talent.
Stay sleeving.
It's not about the talent. It's not about the talent.
But
you know what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
When Shaq was in LA, when he got to LA, Shaq was the man. Shaq was the man when he got to LA. And he didn't listen. That was if you ask anybody, that was his team. Like that was his team. Unquestionably, that was his team. But then this is young whippersnapper coming out of nowhere, drafted 13th, who is coming out here and just wilding. We got to get him involved. Yeah, it was an adjustment period, but at the end of the day, is Shaq a number one option on most teams? Absolutely. Not when you got a Kobe Bryant on your team.
Shaq was still a one option.
You think he was the number one option towards the end?
Bro, bro. Every
Toward the
year,
end?
Shaq, bro.
But well, first of all, go-to option.
Bro.
There's nobody in the world ever who's let's just listen, hear me out. Nobody in the world who's going to get an easier basket than Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes.
Right.
Nobody in the world who's going to get an easier basket than Shaquille O'Neal. You'd be a fool to not make him your number one option. But what I'm saying is, are you going to have him bring the ball up and run your offense? Nah.
In today's NBA,
he's your number one.
Yo, today's NBA, Shaq will be shooting threes and all kinds of shit.
Today's
he wouldn't be fair, bro.
bro. 7'2" running around, 7'1" running around the way Shaq was in Orlando, bro, that would be bugged out right now.
Bro, Shaq,
that would be bugged
Shaq
out.
in today's NBA would be like a black Jokic, but
I don't know, bro.
No comparison, man.
No. We also have to take into account that he could not shoot past the hook shot.
But how do we know he wouldn't have practiced shooting jump shots in today's NBA?
Yeah, and the eras are different,
bro. I mean, clearly, but we could talk about all of those variables with Jordan playing in this era, LeBron playing in that era. Like, there's so many variables you could throw in. Shaq was not shooting shit, bro. He couldn't shoot a free throw. Like, you know what I mean? He couldn't. Not that he didn't want. He could not. He tried. He couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So you put him in this league, you got Giannis. That's what Giannis is in this league. That's what Shaq would be. Someone who's just dominant, can't really be effective on the outside that much, but he's so effective on the inside that
Giannis will pull up three on you.
No, not on you.
Nah, I've seen the playoff games. He ain't the closer. That's Chris.
You seen Giannis take a pull-up three guarded?
Yes. Are you kidding me?
And he knocks it down.
Contested is one thing.
And you want that shot?
I don't want that.
You don't want that shot. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure he's done it, but I don't want him doing that. You know what I'm saying? Look, there's no era where Shaq would have had to shoot jump shots. There's no way. There's no way Shaq would have been shooting no jump shots. So, but, anyway, to get back to the regular point, I'm just talking about options. And who the team belonged to, and you got a budding star who you trying to get the star and the budding star to work well together. It reminds me a lot of those things. Now, is Shaq and Julius Randle anywhere in the same level? No. Is RJ in the Black Mamba anywhere in the same level? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about the dynamic in terms of being the number one option, having a number two option who on another team could possibly be a number one option, but you guys got to figure out how to make it work. I think. Go ahead.
Well, if I can add to your point too, like, the whole Shaq number one option and Kobe. Eventually, Kobe got to the point where they was like, okay, listen, we're gonna get the ball to Shaq, and Kobe was like, no, let him get. He needs to get in shape. You know what I'm saying? He needs to do. He needs to do this and do that, and then maybe I'll pass the ball to him. So,
which is crazy how that ended up from where it started, right?
Right. So if you're talking about RJ and Julius, RJ has to get to the point where he gets to a point where he's telling, listen, I'm not doing this unless Julius Randle does XYZ. You know what I'm saying? So, so I get what you're trying to say with the comparison.
With that comparison.
I don't think he got that type of personality. That's just me. That's why I call RJ like he's going to be a low maintenance star or superstar for the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Very low maintenance.
He don't got that personality to demand it, but I think RJ is the kind of guy that will demand it with his game. He's not verbally going to demand it. He's just going to go do him. Like, I've seen RJ get in that mode where he's like, all right, fuck it. Well, he don't even look at nobody. He's like, all right, bro.
All right,
move. I'm gonna go this way.
Do you know who reminds me? We were saying this before we started. Like, who do we compare RJ to?
Mm-hmm.
Sean Elliott. Remember Sean Elliott?
Wow, that's
Sean Elliott was like the softest motherfucker that you ever see, but he eventually got to 21 points a game in his career and stuff. So, but he was quiet, not soft, but he was quiet.
Didn't he play in the Spurs most of his career?
Yeah.
I know you're talking about
Elliott.
For
I gotta look up video on Sean Elliott.
Yeah, take a look at Sean Elliott.
always compared RJ Barrett to Brandon Roy, and I'm not backing off that comparison because Brandon Roy was one of my favorite NBA players growing up, and RJ does some of the same moves as Brandon Roy. The running floater, the running jump hook floater.
They got the same body style too.
Same body style. Brandon Roy always loved contact. Brandon Roy always dropped hard to the basket. The difference though,
that was one of my favorite plays too, by the way.
Brandon Roy could beat bop boop. Like he can.
That's the difference.
He got stupid. He got stupid with the ball, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. There was some times I was watching him and I'm just like, yo, just keep going. Like, cause you on that, you right there to Kobe. Kobe knows. Kobe was saying it a few times. He's like, yo, this guy here.
He was nice, man. He had the full package. He had,
he had everything, bro. Like that boy could do. And he played defense. He played through the fast break. He played in the half court.
Everything.
He was unselfish. He literally had the entire package. He had the entire package. But the only part of the package,
cold-blooded too, man.
Cold-blooded. He had the killer mentality. The only part of the package he didn't have was the health.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, but I have no doubt in my mind that if that man would have been able to stay healthy throughout his career, he would have been like.
He'd have been top 5. He'd have been top 5. They could have been a chip. They could have him and Odin just being healthy. I've seen a stat where like
you asking for too much with both of them being healthy.
I've seen a stat where him, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Odin was like 55 and like 3. Whenever those 3 played. That's like it was something crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But that's my comparison for RJ, man. People call him DeMar DeRozan. People call him DeMar is just too athletic. People call him Paul Pierce. I don't see Paul Pierce. I see
it in the speed. That's the only time I see in the speed. But now when you mention Brandon Roy, his speed more reminds me of Brandon Roy than it does Paul Pierce. And I'd rather compare him to Brandon Roy to Paul Pierce. I don't know what's going on with Paul Pierce recently.
Pierce had impeccable footwork. His footwork was better than Brandon Roy.
We're not going to
he started all that.
He's the craftiest player that's ever played this game. If you ask me, the craftiest. Him and Melo, the craftiest players has ever played this game, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Iverson more than both.
Nah. I mean, Iverson was a ball of fire. But I'm talking about crafty in terms of with not as many physical gifts as your average wing. He could get wherever the hell he wanted.
Iverson.
That's size.
Iverson used to pop around like that with his athleticism, but Paul Pierce be standing right in front of you and you can't get to him. You know what I'm saying? He got so many different moves that like he only an inch away from you and you can't stop him. Like, what the hell is he doing?
Inch away from you, he still hit a wide open jump shot somehow. Like, how did he do that? Like, he was being guarded. But that's the kind of guy Paul Pierce was. He was going to embarrass you with the fewest movements that he could possibly make. And you know what I mean? Like that's just the kind of guy he was. So let's get out of here. We've been here for a long time. Shout out Toxic. He's damn almost missed his show. It was good, bro. Yeah, man. We've been on for almost an hour and a half. Almost an hour and a half.
It's a good one, man.
Good one, man.
All the rest of my rock bottom, man.
Yeah, you missed the smoke session, the drink session. You missed all of it. Toxic. You missed it all. Not all of us were partaking. Just my
shout out to Dre and Rick, man. Shout out to Dre and Rick.
Shout out to Dre and Rick, man.
We didn't give them like a proper, thank you for keeping the seat warm for us, and now we're here to take over.
And we're here to take over. All right. So shout out to Dre. Dre, of course, as we know, Dre has he works nights, so we usually see Dre on the weekend. So if you guys are coming here to see Dre, he'll probably be here this weekend. We play the Atlanta Hawks, and that's until he gets switched into days. But it depends on the week where he ends up with that. And Rick tonight, he started feeling a little under the weather. So hopefully, shout out to Rick. Hopefully he feels better. And he took some meds and he got into bed. He didn't even get to watch the game. But he did text me during the game. He said, "Yeah, I've been looking at the score. Are they really busting their ass like that?" I'm like, yeah, they really are. For real. But oh yeah, my bad. I didn't answer your question earlier, Xavier. I skipped past it. My bad. Wait, are you giving the Supermax to RJ? Not yet. I wouldn't say the Supermax. Supermax is wild to give to RJ right now.
I think Dolan will give him a suit. This is how RJ can get a Supermax. You get us to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's like,
I mean, if he gets us, I mean, he's getting whatever the hell he wants if he gets us to the Eastern Conference. Are you kidding me? If RJ gets us to the Eastern Conference Finals in his third year, do you understand the kind of shit that'll happen in this franchise? There'll be RJ posters and murals all over New York City, bro. All over New York City.
All it takes is that game winner from RJ.
I'm telling you, that's what
all
he
need. We just need Julius. Once Julius Randle figure it out, like, oh, I don't gotta shoot the ball 20 times. It's over.
I think he figured it out. I think he figured it out now.
Well, yeah, he better have.
He figured it out now.
8
assists tonight would be in the second leading score or third leading score. I think he figured it out. What the deal was.
So for the last time, like I've always said, for the last 2 years, I've looked at Randle going on 3. Well, it's 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
He's a championship 3 option. We need to treat him as such if this team wants to be great.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But we need the 1 and 2 option for him to be the third option.
You see the 1 option tonight.
But what's the 2 option? What's the second option?
The second option could be Evan. It could be anybody. You seen the 1 option though.
Yeah. RJ not eligible for Supermax, says Joe, and I don't think he is either. I think there's a certain amount of points you have to score or something like that to be eligible for that.
No, it depends on All-Star selections and All NBA selections. So we can actually lowball RJ. I would give him a 5-year.
Yo, you know why I love this?
Go ahead.
This sounds a lot like the Steph Curry situation, doesn't
it? Do, and I want the Knicks to take advantage because in 2025, when that cap go up to 171, Donovan Mitchell's a free agent, bro.
Listen, there's a lot we can make happen. They was able to bring a whole Kevin Durant and add him to the franchise without throwing nobody out the window. Why? Because they had the money from signing these guys to cheap deals. Yeah, they weren't great in the beginning. That's what I like about having someone who's not Jason Tatum off the inlet, because when you do that, now you got to pay him a certain amount of money that you don't have to give to other players. Now, long term, how easy is it going to be to keep Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum there together? It's not going to be easy.
Shit, they might be gone after this trade deadline.
Yeah,
one of them.
I don't like their fit. Even when
not
we
be
had the game together, the first game, I don't like their fit together. That looked like Jaylen Brown team. And
somebody said to us last show, they said Julius Randle and RJ go together like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I started laughing because I was like, damn, it's looking that bad when now they're the poster child of these guys don't fit together movement. You know what I'm saying?
They don't. They don't.
Bro,
Tatum takes some of the stupidest shots I've ever seen. He's very talented. But Brown looked like he takes smarter shots and he plays both sides of the ball extremely well. Yeah. So I don't know how they get that together. But see, this is why another thing why it's a godsend that the Knicks didn't get a guy like Anthony Edwards, right? And we didn't get the 1 pick, and we got Obi Toppin. Because imagine if Edwards was here, and we're trying to figure out, do RJ and Edwards work together?
Nah, bro.
Well, that helps your narrative though, because then Edwards would be the number 1 option, RJ would be number 2, and then we'll have that championship because Julius Randle would be the championship 3 option.
But how do we know RJ and see every 1 and 2 don't always work? You get what I'm saying? Giannis and Chris Kobe Middleton work because Chris Kobe Middleton turns into Kobe last 3 minutes of the game. Giannis just needs to dominate.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this, and it's not gonna be a popular opinion, and I don't give a fuck. I like the way 32 points looks on RJ Barrett more than it looks on Anthony Edwards, and here's why. RJ Barrett is going to get his team involved with his 32.
Yes.
He's going to get 32 and nobody's going to feel like they wasn't on the court standing in the corner. You know what I'm saying? You got Anthony Edwards with a 32. he probably took 30 shots.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the difference you're going to get with those kind of guys. That's why when people mention these kind of guys, like, oh, I wanted an Anthony Edwards, be careful what you wish for. Because he's going to take every goddamn shot. You know that, right? Every single one. The good ones and all.
But we need that, though. We need somebody to take some bad
Not
shots.
to say that he's talented that I wouldn't take. Yeah, you want like say that again, my bad, because I kind of went out. Go ahead.
Well, just for like the whole, third option stuff. Like if we had Anthony Edwards taking the bad shots and then RG taking the good shots, and then Julius Randle just filling in the pieces, getting the rebounds, facilitating, and getting a little bit of points, that works, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. You gotta be sure. Let me see. Let me see what the chat is saying. Joe said we're gonna see Ant-Man next week. Yeah, we gotta see Anthony Edwards next week. I can't wait. We should have seen him already, but they had all of the guys out and still struggled with them that game. So
I know for a fact Julius Randle's going to make sure that RJ get his buckets against Ant-Man. Because I know they seen that little video.
Bro, I'm gonna be
honest. That's Tuesday, the 18th.
I think Julius is starting to realize that the 2-man game between him and RJ has worked out for the team more than the 2-man game between him and anybody else. And I think he's realizing that late, and he's probably like, yo, we could have been wilding. You know what I'm saying? We could have been wilding. But you gotta give him that time to grow. A few more of these and then we get out of here. Seriously, RJ already eaten a bunch of times. That's why I'm an RJ guy for sure. We already know that. Toxic said Mitch trying to get that bag. He also said, shout out to Dre. He said I knew Dre wasn't gonna be here with Mitch Beaston. Just so everybody knows, Dre was like the first Mitchell Robinson fan, like that I remember. He loved Mitch. But he's recently turned on Mitch a little bit because Mitch hasn't shown as much since then. Outside of what we already knew he could be, a high flyer, rim runner, great defender. But we thought we were going to see a little bit more out of that. But he likes Mitch, but at the same time, he understands that Mitch is not a lost cause, but we're not really going to see him like jump 3-4 levels from what he is now. He might jump another level, and that might be it for Mitch, because unless he adds a jump shot or a hook shot to his game, that them levels are very limited, like very, very, very limited.
Real quick, what year did the Warriors fire Mark Jackson and hire Steve Kerr? And what year was that Steph Curry? That was
whatever year it was that we got Derek Fisher.
Oh my goodness.
Because we were supposed to get Steve Kerr. We were supposed to get Steve Kerr, and we ended up getting Derek Fisher. 2015.
What year was Steph Curry in? He was in year 6.
09. Yeah, he drafted in 09, so it was year 6.
He was in year 6. Mm-hmm. Very interesting that you mentioned RJ's contract. I hope we can get him on a cheaper deal.
We will.
And we will. Mm-hmm. And Julius Randle contract, he has a player option for 2024, 2025. If he was smart, he would opt out of that contract, let the Knicks sign 2 max players, and resign. If he was smart, that's what he would do. And if the Knicks is smart, we don't do no rush trades. We just wait it out. Just wait, because somebody gonna shake loose. And and my problem with Knicks fans is, you want to trade for Miles Turner. Yeah, I'm a little biased with the Cam Reddish thing, so I'm gonna put that to the side. But
of course,
you want to trade for Miles Turner. Yeah, you want to trade for this guy. Yeah, you want to trade for that guy. But none of those guys put you in championship contention. The real guys who put you in championship contention, you got one over there in Utah who's a free agent in 2025. Tatum is a free agent in 2025. And Giannis is a free agent in 2025. And I know for a fact Giannis is absolutely 1,000% leaving the Bucks. Because you
said that the last time he was a free agent.
And the Knicks just gotta, I think, Dar, you said this to me like 2-3 weeks ago, or probably a week ago. But you said, the Knicks just gotta stay afloat. Just gotta stay afloat the next few years. Just stay afloat. Don't Do nothing that look incompetent. That's all they gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
don't mortgage the future just for like a nice little gain. Right now, like we were saying, just guys that we could touch. You know, before we get out of here, Cam Reddish as a starter, he's 18-2-2. You know, I don't like the 2-2, but the 18 says something. You know,
He's a scorer. He's a scorer. He's gonna get you some buckets. And that's kind of what you want to see. That's kind of what you want to see. Brother BKL says, speaking of which, Mitch got a double or not? Yeah, 19 and 10. 19 points, 10 rebounds on 9 of 10 shooting. Great shooting night from him. But the guys got him involved. That's the only way Mitch is gonna have good games is if you get him involved. You know what I'm saying? He can't just be out there for cardio, as he says. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Shout out to Man-Child. Salute, bro. He said I'm mute on Randall tonight. Yeah, we gotta put the Randall talk on pause. We gotta put the Randall talk on pause.
Yeah.
We gotta,
all the trade Randall talk. We gotta put that on pause. We back at 500 now.
We back at 500. He came out there looking like the old Randall, and not only the old Randall, but the old Randall that's trying to incorporate RJ and what he got going on. That's what we wanted to see. He also said we need to make trades to improve the team, not making trades just for the sake of it, for sure. And like I always say to even my boy Regular Joe, I say addition by subtraction sometimes could really help us. We don't necessarily need to bring in the new guys. Maybe the guy we have is here and he just needs minutes. I think even Quickly is looking better and better at that position, at just running a point guard position, whether it's starting or off the bench. He's looking better as a point guard because he has the minutes to do it. Derrick Rose isn't here, Kemba isn't here, so he's our primary playmaker. He's making mistakes, but at the same time, he's figuring out. Like tonight, he didn't shoot great. What was he? 1 for 7 from the field.
Yeah, 1 for 7.
You know what I'm saying?
He played a great floor game. He played a great
floor game, man. And my boy Wave is funny when he said son stay dapping up his son at the game. He's talking about Julius Randle. I was in an Xbox party and we was all in there chatting. And he said, "Yo, he stayed dapping up his son." And when he said it, I busted out laughing because that's the only time you can say that and it sounds like a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, since when is dapping up your son a bad thing? Like, it's never been a bad thing. But it was like he saw Julius Randle giving Cotton a little dap during the game. He's like, "Yo, he's always dapping up his son, win the game." But it was funny. It was funny as hell when he did it.
Yeah, regular Joe. I don't know who this guy. This guy's on fire tonight, man.
Tonight,
Regular Joe is good, man.
He's regularly on fire.
Yeah,
he's regularly on fire,
bro.
Quickly defensively has been a problem, and that's the thing that we want. We want him with the experience guarding these point guards, these starting point guards. That's what I want, because he could bust anybody on the second unit's ass. Like, I'm not worried about Quickly in playing against second unit guards or anybody, but you want him to get that experience against the starters, which is kind of like, the guy like Jalen Brunson tonight. You see what he can do after they just put him in that position and they say, "Yo, just be the best you can be here. We don't need you to be a star. We just need you to play your game." You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what Tom Thibodeau says all the time. Play your game. Like, yeah, we want you to be a point guard, but at the end of the day, if you're not shooting,
be yourself.
If you're not shooting, you're not effective. That's it. Like, Quickly is a shooter. I don't care if he's a point guard, a shooting guard, a combo guard, or whatever the hell he is. He's a shooter. You do not stop shooting at that position. You got to continue to play a game.
Real quick,
you're gonna hurt yourself.
Real quick, can I get a former comparison of Quickly from y'all two of an ex-Knicks player that he remind y'all of?
Of an ex-Knicks player?
Tony Douglas.
Yo, my fault, Apollo. I didn't even. Yeah, he messing with you.
I'm about to give you the Kobe shit.
Oh God.
I'm gonna act like I didn't hear that. I would say an ex-Knicks version of that.
Yeah.
John Starks.
Go ahead, dog. Because I got the name already.
I don't even know what to say. I was gonna say Rory Sparrow. I don't know what to say.
Who the fuck is
Rory Sparrow, man. Do I need to state my age? God damn.
Damn, son. Ooh, boy, that was funny. But who's your comparison?
J.R. Smith, man, because yo, quickly be doing some ed. Yo, he be doing stuff certain times in the game. I'll be like, yo, sit this guy down.
Yeah, I mean, it's his ability. See, it's more. I think he's less scared to make a mistake. I think a lot of times with him, quickly is out there trying to make the best play. Now, there was a play out there he could have gave it to Obi tonight, where I was like,
a mid-range jumper.
Yeah,
and it went in.
Yeah. It went in. But
I know what you're talking about. I didn't like him shoot. I like the development that he's starting to shoot mid-range jumpers.
I do like that. Yeah.
What I don't like is, bro, pass the damn ball, bro.
Yeah, but at the same time, just like we just finished saying, we want you to be you. We want you to be you. So I mean, I get that he listen, bro. I'm not gonna complain. He made a mistake. I wish he would have made a better play, but that's what these guys are out there to do. Obi makes mistakes all the time out there, so I am not gonna do too much. Last few ones, Manchild said this is the Fournier I was expecting. I mean, if he can take 9 shots, get you 13 points, and not make that much noise, just really be cool, and like you really don't notice he's there. This is the Fournier I would like. You know what I'm saying? Toxic says year 2 Grimes is gonna be a problem. I'm way too excited about that kid's development, bro. He's gonna be an animal. Like I said, I'm looking for a young Clay with him. I'm looking for a young Clay. I kind of like.
I see it.
He kind of fits that archetype. A little bit more playmaking though. He can actually dribble the ball like really, really well. Joe says, did y'all peep the Randall breathing exercise tonight? He was on some Zen shit. He needed it. He probably was trying to breathe in all the booze that was in the building, and so he could just feel a little bit better about what was going on because he was on a different level tonight. I don't know what kind of fucking Kobe or Phil Jackson shit he smoked, but he was definitely on a different level.
That's straight Kobe Bryant, bro. That's straight Kobe. The only person I think that could teach him a breathing exercise is Kobe Bryant.
Probably Kobe, yeah.
Lord God bless Kobe Bryant's soul, man. He passed the day after my birthday, man. I think about that dude all the time, bro. So
yeah, he passed a few days after my birthday. That was kind of wild. My birthday's on the 22nd. What day is it usually? The 25th?
The 25th, yep.
Yeah. I was wild times, man. Manchar said quickly laughs at Tibbs when he yells at him.
Yeah, he's a lunatic. That explains everything.
Don't nobody make his Tibbs though.
Yo, quickly is one of the most
careless
kids I've ever watched. He's
careless.
More frustrated than Frank, bro.
Nah, he's careless as hell, bro. He don't care about making a mistake. He don't care, and I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I gotta like it, bro, because the difference between Frank and him was Frank wasn't scared. Now Frank was scared to be himself. Quickly wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's it. That's how we gonna end it here. We've been rocking for this probably our longest show in a minute.
Yeah, we can do another 2 hours.
We probably do another 2 hours. And if I look at the chat again, it probably will go. So I'm gonna stop looking at the chat. Shout out if you guys are in the chat because y'all got some good stuff.
That's what winning do, Apollo.
That's what winning do.
That's what
you know
winning
do. In the name. Listen, if you're here, hit that like button, subscribe, tell a friend. Come check out this guy, my guy here, Die Hard Knicks podcast. He usually goes live with State, with the Die Hard State of Mind, and they do their shows. And you usually go halftime on yours, Die Hard. You usually go from halftime to crunch time.
Yep, absolutely.
Halftime to crunch time. Check him out over there. Great stuff as always. You got anything left to say, State? Never mind. I know you got something left to say. What would you like to say to
beat the
lead us
Hawks'
off?
ass. That's all I got, yo.
That's it.
Beat these fools down to a pulp.
That's it.
And Cam Reddish, have a good game. I need the Knicks brass to see you up close.
Listen, I'm just scared about who they'd have to give up to get him. That's it.
I don't give a damn who we got to give up to get him. I'm just thinking about a Harrison Barnes, RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish wing rotation. And it's starting to make me feel certain type of way. Like So,
I think that's a Ciroc. I think.
I think that is too. So, come on, man. Let's go get this win, man.
Definitely was a Ciroc. Yo, Eru got any last words, bro?
I don't know. Anybody know any good marriage counselors, anything like that? Because it's like 12:20. You know what I'm saying? And I got to do some damage control.
Yeah, bro. I'm sitting here looking at the time now, like shaking, like, all right, you guys have a good one. But man, thank you guys for being here until 12:20, rocking with us, just having a good time talking about our lovely Knicks. We are now 500 at the Garden. We were 6-11 at the Garden. We are now 11-11 at the Garden. 5 straight wins in the Garden. 9 out of 12, like Joe said earlier, in the last 12 games, we've won 9. I just want us to keep up the consistency. We're getting better. We're trending in the right direction. I'm a little concerned of is what it's going to look like when Kemba comes back. Hopefully that doesn't change up too much. But
don't he doesn't need to play.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap.
I don't know, man. Hopefully a trade happens before we have to play him again, and then we're like in that situation. But yeah, man. At 500, peace out to the chat. Thank y'all for being here with us. Another dope show. Appreciate you guys, man. And as we always say, man, till next time, y'all. Peace.
You're right. Peace.